Welcome back, everyone, to episode 3 of the Breakdown Bros podcast. I'm so excited to be back with my co-host, Josh Niekamp. And today, we got a packed show. We got plenty to talk about. So I'm excited to get right into it.
I think this is going to be a great episode.
Yeah, I can't wait. We're finally entrenched in the off season. But man, I kind of love the off season. We don't have to worry about those silly results of football games anymore.
My mood is now not determined by football. Holy crap.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Whatever I talk about regarding football.
Correct.
Okay, so first segment of the day. We have ESPN has released their top 25, way too early top 25. And what better way to look at it as to react with it ourselves?
Oh, absolutely.
So, Josh, I'll let you go ahead and get started here.
Would you like to go through 1 through 25 or 25 to 1? I have my preference.
Oh, go ahead.
I think we'll start with 1, and
okay.
Then we'll kind of go from there.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
So, and then we can obviously judge if we really want to go all the way down to 25. It may not be worth it.
I mean, even if we do it,
but
speedily.
we should at least let's at least reference it.
Exactly. And we have compared no notes on this. We have our own ideas. So I'll let you start right now.
Well, number 1, we got the Indiana Hoosiers. My first initial thought, too high. I'm sorry, too high. And I understand that we underestimated them this year in the top 25 mix, and we paid the price for it. But even then, I still think there's a little bit of issues here. Right? They lose Fernando, they lose Elijah, they lose Roman Hemby, the running back. They do add Josh Hoover from TCU, so we're gonna get another third round portal quarterback for Curt Cignetti.
It's true.
Well, he at TCU he played well.
Yeah,
he's an experienced quarterback, so Curt Cignetti does well with that. They do add in a couple here. Nick Marsh from Michigan State is their best wide receiver.
He's pretty good.
And he's been pretty good. So it's not they have a couple plug and plays in there, but I don't think that they deserve the number 1 spot there. So I probably move them a little lower. What are your thoughts?
Initially I would agree with your statement, but after witnessing what Curt Cignetti can do with the team, after he somehow got better last year to this year, and honestly, I just don't know who I'd put number 1 over him. I mean, they're undefeated national champs. They have 16 wins under their belt. And I know they're losing guys, but I mean, they brought up Fernando Mendoza from Cal, and they was instantly the Heisman.
Instantly?
So
yeah.
I think it's weird that he's number 1, but at the same time, I just don't know who I'd put in their place. No one really stands out to me as really coming back with a lot of power. Maybe you'll address that later in your top 12.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see. For me, I'm okay with Indiana number 1. But my number 2, or their number 2, is Texas. Now, some people might have heard my thoughts in the last episode. Obviously, I think number 2 is too high. I don't know what's really going to be different this year to last year. And then obviously this year they had 3 losses. And of course, okay, they were the best 3-loss team. Maybe they were. But in those 3 losses, I also talk about how I remember back-to-back games where they're really struggling against inferior teams.
It's true.
And they just really can't keep focused. On top of that, they have really high expectations, and I don't think that always works in your favor, especially as kind of a more Ohio State fan. Oftentimes we have high expectations, and I mean, are they deserved expectations? Yes, but I don't think it always works in their favor. They added some good guys, I'll be honest, but let's not act like they didn't have good guys last year, and, I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I actually think it's actually pretty okay.
Really?
I'm not opposed to having Texas at 2. Number 1 gives Ohio State makes Ohio State look pretty good when we beat them.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But also besides that, so yes, they do lose a couple people. They lose safety Michael Taff. He was pretty dang good. They lose Anthony Hill probably, Malik Muhammad. Their defense is going to take a little bit of a hit, right? But I do think their offense gets better. Year 2 Arch, there's not going to be as much pressure as there was the first year. I think people are going to scale back, even though, yes, he's still the Heisman preseason favorite.
Back to the preseason favorite? Yeah.
But okay. I don't think he's going to get nearly as much coverage behind that. I think he's going to he understands Sarkisian's offense a little bit better. There's a couple things that I think he can fix mechanically over the offseason to make him a better quarterback. And I think they actually get a better wide receiver than what they were losing. They get a Cam Coleman from Auburn. Absolute dog. He was phenomenal.
It's true. I have Cam Coleman and Smothers. I know there's some legal problems there, but he was good too. I totally agree. They are getting a lot of weapons.
They're doing their job. They're moving forward. It's a reload. It's not a rebuild. It's a reload.
Yeah.
So I expect them to be pretty good.
Okay. Well, go ahead.
Number 3, Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Really? Okay. So when I was looking at this, I'm like, who did they really lose? Running backs.
Yes.
They lost their running backs.
I noticed that.
Everybody else generally stayed.
And normally I would say running backs are relatively replaceable, but Jeremiah Lovehu's kind of that guy, so I see where you're coming from there.
I would say it's just running backs that they lost. So I'm actually okay with this. I'm fine with them at 3. They even add a couple people for the defense. I think they added a couple 5-star wide receivers from Ohio State. I think they're going to be a very solid as long as they don't lose those 2 darn games that they seem to do every season. I don't see why they wouldn't get a bye.
I mean, funny you bring that up because, I mean, I agree. I think they'll be 3. I think a lot of it will have to do with their schedule. They play 8 teams that had 8 losses in 2025. And then the other 4 teams are like Navy, Miami, SMU, and one other team I can't think of right now. But mostly they just have to beat like Miami and SMU
for sure.
or one other team. And it's going to come down again. You know, even if they lose both of those games, you'd think they'd be in. Although with their new rule, remember if Notre Dame is in the top 12,
such a stupid rule.
And yeah, well, we'll talk about that another time. But
just join the conference.
Exactly. But I think they'll just be ranked high because they have not the greatest competition, and at least until they play Miami, who I think will be still pretty good. But I'm okay with
Miami.
them
Miami will be pretty good.
I agree with them at number 3. Number 4 is Georgia. I think they're honestly just a little bit underrated. They're not losing
underrated.
a ton of guys, mostly because I think Georgia should be above Texas. I mean,
that's why.
I mean, well, Texas is 2. I
think Georgia be in the right spot, and maybe you should just drop Texas lower.
Yeah, I mean, Georgia could be 4. I'm okay with Georgia at 4, or 5 even. But in that range, I think they are a top 5 team. I think they're gonna be the best SEC team. Results have proved that. How many times have Texas beat Georgia? Like,
oh yeah,
I swear,
it's fair.
I swear Georgia has won the last 5 games in a row against Texas, even when sometimes Texas was supposed to win. So, and I mean, with all this talk about great coaches, it's Kurt Signetti and all these coaches being great. You still have to remember that coaches that are like retaining their jobs and have been doing consistently well, like Kirby Smart. I mean, that's just such an advantage in itself.
Oh yeah,
I think they deserve top 5. 4, I guess 4 is about right.
I'm not impressed with Georgia. Yeah, I know they're good. They're probably the best in the SEC. I'm just not impressed. I felt like last year they were struggling. Sure, they won games, but it wasn't like it was in any crazy fashion. The defense wasn't exactly stifling like it usually is. The offense sometimes lackluster. I mean, sure, they put up points against Tennessee and everything like that when they had to score like 38 points. They put up points, but I wasn't ever concerned.
And yet, I think that's just because you're comparing it to past Georgia teams, because we have to remember they were the 3 seed.
That's true.
I mean, they were the 3 seed. They were behind Indiana and Ohio State, who were both undefeated until they played each other. And then they were like the 3rd best odd until they went to the playoffs. So, I mean, all they have to do is, like you said, they weren't super impressive last year, like normal Georgia teams. But if they just repeat last year, I mean, technically that'd mean they're a top 3 team.
That's true. Maybe it's just comparing to past years, but I would also say that kind of reflects also on the SEC a little bit, though.
That's true.
I don't think Georgia didn't look great, but they still won the SEC. So is it the SEC that was bad, or is just Georgia that dominant of a team? Yeah. And I don't think that's true. SEC does have talent.
That's a good question.
But it doesn't seem to have that much talent.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on.
That's just me. Then we move on to Oregon Ducks. I think this is one of my favorite teams, actually. I'm a big fan of the Oregon Ducks, mainly just because they just keep Dante Moore. I think that's huge. Dante Moore was good, but they do lose both their coordinators, so I think that's that's going to be a learning curve there, and I'm just curious to see how their schedule pans out, because I haven't seen any like date specifics on matchups on when they play certain people. Because if they play them early, they could struggle. But if they get a nice little like 3 tune-up non-conference games, as Ohio State does.
Yeah, I agree. I think Dante Moore coming back is huge. I mean, they get, I think, still Dylan Raiola coming there just to sit behind him for some reason.
Sure.
That just shows, how much people want to play at Oregon. I think they're rated fairly, and I think normally they are, and they're kind of the regular season best ever because they've only lost one game in the last 2 regular seasons, and that was to Kurt Cignetti's Indiana this year, who went 16-0. So I don't think that's anything to scoff at. I think they're a good team, and that will be reflected in my top 12 later.
Okay.
For sure. Next team we have, Ohio State.
Controversial.
This is another one. I think 6 is a little low.
We're biased.
We're biased on this, I'll admit. But, I mean, I do have some statistics to back this. They're, as of today, plus 650 for the national championship. That's second only to Notre Dame, actually, right now. So I think, the sports books know a little bit about what's going on. And at the end of the day, you still have your head coach is still there.
Sure.
Your defensive coordinator is still there.
Sure.
Our offensive coordinator is getting replaced. But at the same time, you still have Julian Sayin and Jeremiah Smith. So I just got to feel like the offense is going to be okay. I think the defense will still be good. And, I mean, we still recruit at a high level in transfer portal, and the odds reflect it. And I think I don't see why we couldn't be a top 5 team. I don't mind being ranked 6 at the start of the season, honestly. Just like last year, we started at rank 3. Totally fine with that. But I think if I had to say, I'd say that's just a little bit too low.
I actually think we're ranked a little high.
Really?
I do.
Why is that?
Well, so we went through that whole conundrum last year of who we lost and yada, yada, yada.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do the same thing again. Caleb Downs is gone. Unveil Reese is gone. Carnell Tate is gone. Sonny Styles is gone. Caden Curry is gone. Caden McDonald is gone. Davison Igbenogson is gone. Max Clare is gone.
It's true.
Carnell Tate was wide receiver 2 and would be wide receiver 1 on almost any other team.
True.
Right? That's going to hurt. We don't really have a proven third. We knew Carnell Tate was going to be good last year.
That's true.
We don't really have that person anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Caleb Downs was easily the best defensive player in football almost.
This is true.
And now he's gone, and now Matt Patricia's got to be able to... He doesn't have the genius in the backfield of the defense anymore. I think that's going to be a struggle. Linebackers, Unveil Reese and Sonny Styles came out of nowhere. And that's where you could probably argue that maybe that happens again. But I think that's rare.
You're making good points here.
That's rare. Right? Caden Curry was our best defensive edge. Now we did gain some people from Alabama in the transfer portal. That'll be helpful. We had a D-line and a D-end from Alabama. They're going to be pretty good. And we got Terry Moore from Duke, who's a safety, who's going to be pretty dang good, I would say. But I'm struggling to see that with our lack of offensive line production and our lack of defensive end production, now that Caden Curry's gone, I don't know how, because I am now reverting back to you win games in the trenches. I don't think we're going to be as good right at the beginning. I don't think we should be ranked 6th.
Okay. I think that's pretty valid. We'll see how it goes, but I think those
I don't know if
good
I have that
points.
reflected in my rankings, though, which is a shame.
I'm pretty sure my rankings have a stigma. I mean, at the end of the day, I think I just don't see a world where we have that low of a floor. And in a world of college football uncertainty,
that's awkward.
I think it'd be good. All right. But number 7, Texas Tech. I think the story of this team was that they dominated the Big 12. They went to the playoff. They got embarrassed.
Yep.
I think 7 maybe is a little bit high, but it's defensible because I think the Big 12 is a really balanced conference, and then Texas Tech just sits on top. They're just a step above, mostly because they just spend so much money on the portal.
Money talks.
Exactly. So I think by virtue of that, they'll probably end the season probably with, 2 losses at most.
Big 12, probably.
I mean, Big 12's a little crazy.
If you can just stay consistent, just having high-tier elite players can win you many games in the Big 12.
Yeah. I agree, but I never really think a mercenary team like that's just put together with money will ever do super well.
No. It won't.
Long term, but I think they'll be top 10.
Sure.
I think they'll
make the playoffs.
Do well in the Big 12. I think they'll make the playoffs. So,
you think they get a bye?
Probably not, because if they lose one game, they probably don't get a bye. But
Okay.
if they're at number 7, I think it's a little high, but it's going to be reflected throughout the season by their wins because they're going to beat Big 12 teams. So
For sure. No, I kind of agree with that sentiment. I don't really have much to say on Texas Tech. Money talks. That's really if you got the oil money, you got you can put together a pretty good football team. I wouldn't say elite, but you can put together a pretty good football team.
all right, get behind that. You go next.
Then we got Miami Hurricanes. So obviously they just played a national championship. They lose Carson Beck. They lose Ruben Bain. That'll be pretty big. That's pretty big. Hakeem Mesidor, Mohamed Tor. A lot of defense, and their defense was elite, and that's why they were able to create everything. So I do think they're dropping 8's pretty likable, but they do keep. Wait, I wonder. I'm curious. Malachi Toney is still there,
I believe so. Yep.
and then their running back, who is an absolute dog,
Fletcher
is still there.
Yeah.
So that's helpful.
Yeah, I think there may be a touch underranked, just a little bit.
Just a tad bit.
Mostly they get Darian Mensah, and that guy played at Duke, and he was a dog.
I
don't really think Carson Beck had more experience. That's certainly helpful, but Miami's offense wasn't really
flashy. By any means.
Sometimes they were flashy. Somehow they were inconsistent with a really experienced quarterback. But I think they're not going to take a huge downstep offensively. I think the biggest thing here is that, Miami administration and Miami donors are only going to be thinking about bringing the U back. They've seen it's possible. They've seen the team make it to the national championship.
Yeah, they've seen Mario Cristobal do it.
I think they're going to get an influx of support, throughout the spring, and they're just going to get, money to help them fund whatever they need to fund. And I haven't seen their schedule. I know they play like Notre Dame, but for the most part, I think it's probably going to be relatively workable. And so I think 8 is fine. I think they could even be a little bit higher than 8, just for me.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. It's just proved that Mario Cristobal is able to get there.
Yeah, I think
is what I think is the main key thing there.
Exactly, because people sometimes care about that a little too much.
At James Franklin.
Yeah, well,
it's tough.
At Sean McDermott. Okay. Number 9, Ole Miss. I have not a lot to say about them at number 9. I think
Too
they're
high.
A super variable team.
Too high.
I have written down that they're too high. I don't like the variability.
So high.
I think at the highest they should be ranked like 1 or 2 spots higher than they were. But at the lowest, I really wouldn't see a problem with them being ranked like 18th, or even lower, because they just have so much going on.
They keep Trinidad.
They keep Trinidad, but their head coach is, in legal battles, and he's new. At least he's been around. I think they were caught fire at the end of the season last year. It's going to be hard to sustain next year. So
I have them. I think it's too high. I don't think Trinidad, they lose too much. Sure, when I'm looking at the transport additions, they've added a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They've put in the work, but I don't think with a whole new coach, with the new coaching staff and everything that they have to replace, I don't think Trinidad is going to be able to carry the team to be in the same performance that they had originally, that they had this year. So I have them too high. I think 9 is grossly high. It will reflect in my top 12 for sure.
Okay.
Now we're going to talk about the Texas A&M Aggies, right?
Yep.
And they lose Casey Concepcion, Trey Zune, Chase Pizantis. Lose some people on the defensive side as well. I think it's actually pretty low for me.
Low. I guess Marcel Reed's coming back.
Marcel Reed's coming back.
They were really good the whole regular season.
They don't have any coaching staff problems or anything like that.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be coming back. I think they're going to be pretty good.
Yeah, I'm okay with them staying at 10. They didn't play. That was the whole thing this past season was they didn't play some of the top SEC teams. They played most of the lower end SEC teams, so maybe that inflated their rank a bit. But I don't think that shames them too much. They won the games and they're top 10, and I have really no problem with it.
No, they had a couple people too. They got Isaiah Horton from Alabama. I think he's going to be a good addition.
He's pretty good.
Casey Concepcion's going to be missed. Don't get me wrong. He was lights out.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they're going to be able to scrape together some good quality wins, and I think they're going to be pretty high this year.
Next up, they had BYU. I think last year they were a little bit underrated because their only losses were to Texas Tech.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if they're going to be much better. I think it's hard for them to do well.
I have faith.
You think they'll be maybe a little better than 11? Maybe they should be ranked a little bit higher?
I think they should be ranked a little bit higher. Big 12 is Big 12. I think it's Texas Tech and BYU that are the top two. Sure, Texas. You could argue Texas Tech is higher, is a higher tier, but that doesn't mean they can't get anything can happen on a Saturday. I think BYU could catch them on an off day and give them a good run for the money and win.
That's true, because the team last year that was kind of third was Utah, and we know Utah just lost their head coach. That was pretty integral to that team. So I agree with that.
So I'm fine with that.
12, they have Oklahoma. I think to bring back John Mateer. We'll see if he plays as well.
Run it back
as he was. I think they were, especially at the beginning of the season before he got hurt, they were top 12 team. They have great defense.
Great defense. I think John Mateer, again, I'm gonna do that same thing with Arch Manning. Second year there, I think he's going to be able to learn the system better, get some better mechanics throwing, get the timings right with his wide receivers. I think they're going to turn out well. I think SEC's got a good team there.
Okay. All right. Well, that's the top 12. Probably. Here we go. A little bit quicker pace here.
Let's move it
as we head through it. USC, pretty much their whole offense is coming back.
Besides Mekhi Lemon.
Besides Mekhi Lemon.
Who won.
Yeah, okay. He's pretty good. He was won for some reason. I won't get into that. But, I mean, they're bringing back a ton of people on offense.
Yeah.
They were pretty good last year. They don't have a lot of reason to be worse this year. I think they're fine at 13.
They're slowly moving forward. I think they're going to keep moving up. And then we got Louisville. Again, they lose Miller Moss. Lose a lot of their offense gone. But they gained some people like Lincoln Keenholes from Ohio State.
True.
They gained Trey Richardson from Vanderbilt. Besides that, I don't see really problems there. They did beat Miami last year, so it can't be that bad.
Yeah, I think they were a solid team last year. I don't think that means they'll be a good team this year. I just don't really see Louisville as a top 15 team, but I would not doubt them. Next up, we got LSU. For me, this is the team most interesting outside the top 12.
For sure.
I mean, their ceiling is like
top 6.
Way up there, and then their floor is also super low.
20.
I kind of think it's a perfect storm because LSU, I mean, they had the defense. They're bringing in probably one of the best offensive-minded coach. They got their quarterback. I don't see any reason why they really should be bad. So I know while it's a very volatile scale, I think they will be better than 15.
I don't think so. I don't think it's going to work out that way.
So you're opposite of me.
I'm the exact opposite of you.
I think they'll do better.
I don't think so. So yeah, they gained Sam Levitt. They lose Garrett Nussmeier, and they replace it with Sam Levitt. Sam Levitt was good for Arizona State. He wasn't great.
Okay.
It was Cam Scatterby that helped them on that run whenever they were in the playoffs. It's Cam Scatterby threw the touchdown pass, running the ball.
Yeah.
It was the Cam Scatterby show.
It's true.
Sam Levitt didn't really impress me. I don't think he really impressed me this year. I'm a little concerned about that, but the transfer portal, obviously, coming from Ole Miss, Kansas State, Florida, a bunch of wide receivers, they're going to be good. They should have the talent to be good. But I don't see it happening especially with their schedule.
Okay.
I don't think so.
All right. Then we have Iowa. I think Iowa's been underrated for years. I think every year they're really good. I think their game against Indiana this year was really good. Nothing a lot is changing around there. I don't have the exact portal changes here. But I think, while I saw Louisville, I'm like, I'm not sure if they're really a top 50 team. I see Iowa, and I'm like, you know what? They kind of do feel like a top 15 team. So I think
they're slowly changing the narrative.
Slightly underrated, if anything, for me.
I think they're slowly changing their narrative. They're doing their job. They're working hard. It's hard to get that same perception. Like Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State always get that extra give.
Yeah.
To be up there, and I think Iowa's working hard to get there. They haven't made it to a playoff yet, so I don't think they made it there. But they're definitely up. They're working hard to try to get up to that top spot. All right. Then we got the Michigan or SMU Mustangs. Meh.
That's me. No strong opinions. No idea.
I don't really care.
I think if they started at 17, they would slowly go up until they lost a game, and then they would. I don't know.
They could start at 22 for me, or they could start at 15. Doesn't bother me either way.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to see them being above 15.
No, probably not.
But
I got no strong opinions on them.
You can rank them. It's fine.
It's fine.
Michigan, they're 18. 18 kind of implies it's like not quite a playoff year, but pretty close. I just don't really see it the way their season ended. I'm once again an Ohio State fan, probably biased, but it was a rough end to the season, especially the way the whole coaching thing went down. Maybe you could argue they're kind of purging finally the bit of scandal that's just all been wreaking their system.
We just like to play clean football.
Yeah, they have lots of money. They have Bryce Underwood. They totally have ways to be good. But I think it's just pretty crazy over there. They lost some guys, and
I think give them 2 years, they'll be good. Whittingham, I think, is not a dumb coach. He's very respectable.
It's true. They're picking up a good coach.
He's got good culture. Mm-hmm. He knows how to build it. I give him 2 years. Not this year. I think next year they'll be within the top 12 probably.
I'd be okay ranking them just to make them feel okay at the start of the year.
Make them ranked. It's okay.
I don't. 20 to 25 is fine for me.
Meh.
What do you think about Washington at number 19?
I wish they kept Damon Williams. If they were able to keep Damon Williams, I think they could be actually a force within the Big Ten.
Yeah.
But they don't have him anymore.
They don't got those kind of guys. So 19 seems fine. TCU, I'm a little surprised.
Yeah, why is TCU up
ESPN
here?
puts them all the way up here. Did they just lose their quarterback?
Yeah, Josh Hoover.
That was kind of the big deal.
Yeah. He's gone now.
I don't know what else is going on in TCU's team to be ranking them in the top 20. I probably would not have them up there.
Again, this is a fan's look at perspective.
Yeah.
I don't care for TCU.
Some people have done hours of research, but I've done less. But
I've done much less.
My gut instinct on TCU, not sure about it.
I would agree. I would go, meh.
I mean, they're
not going to affect anything.
Yeah, exactly. However, number 21, Alabama, I think as soon as they get finally, every year, they're ranked super high every year. I'm almost positive this is probably their, unless maybe last year, I don't know where they were preseason, but putting them at 21 in the preseason when, I mean, their coach is still there. I know they lost Ty Simpson. I don't see why they could have to be bad. They're Alabama.
The problem is Ty Simpson was that whole offense.
See, yes and no, because I think all they have to do is, while some teams you don't know how to improve, Alabama, it's very obviously just learn how to run the ball. So you think Ty Simpson was their whole offense, and now they're really going to be bad?
I think they're going to struggle.
I think they might be worse in the passing game, but if they are in any way better at the running game, I think they'll be more complete team. If the coaching
staff is anywhere competent, sure. But until they prove that, I mean, they knew about this problem the whole year, and they couldn't fix it.
It's true.
Right? And I would also point to Ohio State and say, we also knew our offensive line, our running game was a struggle, and we couldn't fix it either.
Well, at least we were doing it a little bit better at the end of the year.
It's fair.
But
I
guess Alabama did that once too.
Until you prove it, I'm worried. Yeah. I'm concerned, but also rejoicing at the same time because I like to see Alabama be bad. So,
yeah, I'm still kind of stuck on that as well. All right, ESPN has Penn State at number 22. What do you think?
I think that's actually kind of high. They lose everybody.
They lose a ton of people. They brought in
They brought in every single Iowa State transfer they freaking could.
And Iowa State was very up and down in the Big 12 last year. What I have written down here is I would leave them out of the top 25 for now.
I would leave them.
Let them
You
win
can always
back
bring them in.
I think Matt Campbell's a good coach. I think the Iowa State players are probably pretty good. But I think I'd just let them prove it themselves.
Yeah, I would say give them some bulletin board material and say, they're not a top 25 team right now. Nor do I think they will be for a little bit here. So, keep them out.
I agree. Arizona State in here at 23rd. This one, I don't I don't want to lean on the Vegas odds too much, but I think Vegas odds know something. Right now, they are plus 50,000 to win this thing. For example, Penn State right above them was 6,000. They're plus 50,000.
Sure.
It's probably because maybe people are thinking Sam Leavitt was really good at Arizona State, and he was good.
He was good. He was all right.
He was good, but I don't think it warrants a drop to plus 50,000 in the odds. That's pretty atrocious. But I don't think they should be 23rd.
Probably not. It just doesn't make sense. I just don't see. I don't see the route where they could be good.
All right. Tennessee, 24. Hiring Jim Knowles, that guy. Big defense guy.
Well, supposedly he's all right.
Supposedly he's all right. I think he's okay. He got fired.
He did.
So did that Franklin guy.
They do add a couple people. They add defensive end Chance Coleman from Penn State, snagged that from Ohio State there. And that's really basically it. They lose Joey Aguilar. He was pretty good. Chris Brazzell, meh. Their defense was all right. They do lose a lot, though, on their defensive side. So I could see a little downtick there if Jim Knowles is as good of a coach as we think he could be.
Yes.
He should be able to get that fixed.
Yeah, I think 2 years ago, Tennessee was pretty good on both sides of the ball. Last year, they were pretty good offensively, but took a massive step back defensively.
Yeah.
If they just play better defense, they could be higher than 24 easily.
They win games.
I could see them being higher. Finally, Utah. I don't see anything special about them. They're at 25.
I don't really care for
I don't
them.
know. Full disclosure, I don't have honorable mentions that I think should have been put in instead of these teams. In hindsight, I probably should have had one.
I don't know.
But for the most part, I don't know.
Meh.
Doesn't seem like they should start. Maybe top 25 is fine.
It's nice, but honestly, I could care less for 15 through 25.
Yeah.
It's just
No gripes for me.
It doesn't really affect me.
Yeah. Okay.
But hey, let's move on. But we had so many opinions. Surely we have our own.
Oh, yeah.
At least our own top 12.
Just top 12. See where we actually ranked them.
We'll go back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
And debate when debates are needed to what we think is needed.
Yeah. So here are our top 12.
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
I'll go number 1. Texas.
Oh, my goodness.
I do think they're number 1.
Why?
Why? I do think that with this all, they have the talent. They have the blue chip ratio, first off, in their favor. Arch Manning is definitely going to be better. He's got the ability to be a absolute superstar at that level. They've proven that their defense will always be good. I think that it was a fluke last year about how they struggled in those 3 games and in that stretch and how they lost 3. Now Georgia's a struggle. We'll make that clear.
Oh, right.
Georgia's a struggle.
Yeah. Well, most tough games. No,
But
they had 3 good wins last year.
But
Okay.
I think they finished strong. Beat Texas A&M at the end there. Beat Michigan. I think they're going to come into this year, and I think they're going to steamroll some people.
Yeah, I think you're incredibly wrong.
Yeah, I could tell from your hot take last time.
I think you're so wrong. I think what's the difference between Texas this year and Penn State last year? Almost nothing. What's the difference between Texas?
Coach.
Oh, okay.
Steve Sarkisian.
What has he won?
What has he
I don't
won?
want to be that guy, but like, kind of, yeah.
What do you mean?
Like,
I think
they were good in the Big 12. They
Steve
entered the SEC,
Sarkisian-
and they were bad.
Steve Sarkisian puts together a better coaching staff than Penn State does.
Okay,
It's not even close.
but then why they play so badly throughout the season? 3 losses.
I'm not arguing that.
2 almost
I'm
losses?
not arguing that they played badly. I'm saying the momentum that they brought in from last year, kind of just like Michigan beating Ohio State, Alabama, and started moving in.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be the same thing.
No, I don't see why their team should be different than last year. Last year they had 3 losses, and
you're projecting them to have 5 this year? Yeah, you're insane.
Okay, well, I don't see why they couldn't. I think the wheels will come off. I think it's good.
Why couldn't they win 0? Why couldn't they win all of them?
Why couldn't they win all? They could. I think it's way more likely they have 5 losses than go undefeated in the regular season.
Oh, no way.
Oh yeah.
Oh, no way.
And maybe not even the sportsbooks would agree. I think no matter what, they'll lose a game. And then on top of that, I think when they lose a game, I think the wheels will come off.
Penn State 2.0, you think?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Well,
Who do you got?
We can agree to disagree. Number 1 for me, not Texas, Indiana.
Yep. Bowl.
I don't see why not. Cignetti's proven to be incredible coach. Everyone wants to play for him.
It's been 2 years.
They're opening their pocketbooks. Yeah, it's been 2 years, and he's lost 2 games.
It's been 2 years.
At Indiana.
I'm not saying it's not crazy.
They brought up a guy from Cal last year.
I understand.
Okay.
You can't... I understand that, sure, Curt Cignetti could have the makings to be the greatest coach ever.
Oh, yeah?
Right? But he's only had 2 years in Indiana.
Okay.
Okay? I don't think he's established dominance to that degree where you can just go, yeah, just plug and play. Won. I understand they won. And it shows in my top 12 that they deserve to be up there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're the best team.
So you think the team coming off, 16-0, 2 meaningful playoff experiences, you're saying that's worse, saying he's only been there for 2 years than someone like, Steve Sarkisian, who's been there quite a bit longer at Texas, who has plenty of funding.
I believe continuity matters.
Hasn't done anything meaningful in the playoffs.
I believe continuity matters.
Right.
I don't think they can keep doing this transfer portal plug and play for forever. This doesn't. You can't have 3. I don't think you're going to struggle with your transfer portals. There's going to come a time where he's going to miss on a quarterback, and you're going to go, crap.
I think it's possible. I think anyone can do that equally as much as him.
I don't think so.
You think other people are more?
Indiana's relying on this transfer portal so much more than other people.
Yeah.
They're much more likely to miss. If I flip a coin, so many times, I'm more likely to get tails than I am than other people.
All right.
Because I just have more chances.
Sure.
There's no way that Indiana is going to be able to hold that top dog spot. Doesn't mean they can't win. They're not going to hold the top one.
Okay. We'll have to see about that. My number 2.
Insane.
Also not Texas. It's Oregon.
I had Oregon too.
I have a lot of faith in Oregon. I know they lost their coordinators. I don't see any reason why they really have to be that bad. They're really good in the regular season, like I said. They just got to get over the hump. They're so close. Dan Lanning's so young. He's getting that experience.
Dan Lanning's learning. And
they have funds.
I would say that's good.
I don't see why Oregon.
I agree with the Oregon at 2. That's where I kind of put them. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to move into number 3, Notre Dame.
I also had Notre Dame number 3.
Damn.
Not Texas.
I can see that.
Yeah, not Texas yet.
Notre Dame, number 3. Why are they not going to be good? They have CJ Carr, second-year quarterback. I'm going to keep saying it. Second-year quarterbacks do really well.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep moving on with that.
I guess second year is better than Drew Aller 4th year or whatever it was. Third year.
True.
I don't know.
That's true.
So that's one way Texas might be better. My 4 is still not Texas. I have Georgia. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I think Georgia is going to be probably the best SEC team because I don't think it's going to be Texas. Once again, like I said earlier, Kirby Smart is a good coach, and they struggled this year, and they still ended up winning the SEC and being the 3 seed. I think they're consistently good all the time. Not that much coaching churn. Overlooked.
Yeah.
I have them at my number 4.
I have Indiana at 4 because I do agree they should get their flowers. We should realize that they have played well in the past couple of years. However, I'm still concerned on this transfer portal shenanigans here. That it's good to supplement, but I don't think it's good to lean on. I think they need some good old classic. I'm going to say more experience from their roster and their program that you can build towards. Because I think Curt Cignetti builds a great program, but if you keep leaning on this transfer portal, it's going to bite you in the butt.
I just can't be knocking Indiana anymore. Prove me wrong in every single way.
They're ranked number 4.
I can never do it. No. Why?
Too low?
They've won the last 16 games. Why can't they be
now
number 1?
They're just the absolute end-all, be-all?
Yeah, I mean...
You win a national championship, it's the end-all, be-all.
No, it's not.
Even Ohio State wasn't ranked
number
1
but
off
it's
that.
like, yeah, I don't mind it. We also lost so many guys. Sure, they lost guys, but Fernando Mendoza, Heisman quarterback,
Elijah Surratt was one of their best wide receiver.
Yeah.
Their running back was not half bad either. And they lose that.
And they all came out of nowhere.
I'm not saying they were good transfer portal pickups. All I'm saying is, bro.
I think he can prove he can do it again.
You were an upset Ohio State being ranked 3 last year. They won the national championship. They have more 5-star blue star chips They had transfer portal pickups, and you were fine with Ohio State at 3. But you're
this
you're
is the
going to
difference.
say Indiana's good at
This
1.
is the difference is Ohio State consistently has a ton of like blue chip ratio. Indiana has proven they can just win without blue chip ratio. It doesn't matter.
2 years.
It was 16-0.
Miracle
Your
run.
coach,
Miracle run.
who I'm calling Texas your coach, by the way.
Yeah, that's fine.
Your coach was like, "Oh, good luck to anyone who you're telling me a team has to go 16-0." Your coach was literally mocking people for saying no one would go 16-0.
What did we call last season?
And my coach said they go 16-0.
What did we call last season?
What do you mean?
Miracle season. That's what it was.
I don't know what miracle season.
It was a miracle season.
Okay, let's look back 2 seasons. They had 2 losses. Indiana, worst
miracle
ever. Seasons. At least give me 2.
I won't.
Why is 2 years ago not a miracle at frickin' Indiana?
We're just seeing the Patriots right now go from 4 wins to a Super Bowl.
That's not nearly the same. That's NFL. Not applicable to college
the
football.
parity.
Not exact. Oh yeah, because of parity. This guy doesn't know ball. Comment down below if you think this guy doesn't know ball. There's no way you just said parity. Okay, there's more parity in college football now than ever, but I think you're ridiculous. It's unbelievable.
No.
I'm gonna get my phone out and put money down on.
No.
All right. I'm not even defending Indiana that much. I just don't see why you put anyone else number 1.
But you are.
I would put Indiana number 1 over Texas.
That's fine.
Okay.
But I'm still struggling with the fact that you're just saying just because they proved they could do it 2 years now, that it just means they got to.
I don't say
have to.
I don't say they have to, but I mean, why would you not? You went to the losingest program ever. Why would you change your formula?
Because they don't have the stability.
That's what people said last year, and then they went 16-0.
Because it's a miracle season. I'm not taking
we're
that
never gonna
away.
get through this
They
segment.
don't have stability in that
All right.
program yet.
Yeah.
It's been 2 years.
This is January, folks.
It's been 2 years.
2 years. Yes, Indiana fans. Okay.
It's been 2 years.
Ask Texas fans how many years it's been.
Oh, I will.
Sorry. Okay. My number 5 was Ohio State. Like I said, they were ranked 6th in the AP preseason. I think having your coach retained is good. Our defensive coordinators retained. Our rosters on the defensive side is getting kind of destroyed for the 2nd year in a row. But we bounced back this year. We still have Julian Sand and Jeremiah Smith. I don't see why we can't bounce back next year. We do have a really hard schedule.
Very difficult.
That's something I actually didn't really think about putting him number 5. So brutal schedule's a problem. Maybe that factors in a little bit. But I had him at my 5. Maybe a little bias.
I have Georgia because I have no reason to dock them any more points. They won the SEC last year. Kirby Smart's been doing it for years now. Why would I drop him out of the top 5?
Yeah. Pretty sure he's beaten Texas
makes
like
sense.
a billion times.
They have.
Okay. Number 6, I had Miami. That's right. I think they're going to take a little bit of a step up. By the way, there's still no Texas here. I think next year.
Well, I hope you don't have Texas. You have them at 5 losses.
Well, yeah. Well,
so yeah. I hope I don't see Texas.
I'll
be calling you a liar.
They're in here. Just because I make a bold prediction doesn't mean I have to bet money on it. A bold prediction is something that could happen.
All right,
It'd be no fun.
All right, you'll notice that my bold predictions. I believe in mine.
Oh gosh. Anyways, yeah, like we said, Fletcher, Malachi Tony are back. They hit the courts and absolutely destroyed Duke's legal team to get Darian Mensah. I think people are going to be confident in Miami. I think Miami donors will be confident in Miami. I think Mario Cristobal is a good coach. For those reasons, number 6, I don't see why not.
I got Ohio State at 6, and judging from my breakdown of the ESPN top 25, I should have them lower, but I don't. But with the brutal schedule, having your defense decimated 2 years in a row now, it's hard to find those pop-ups that come through every single time without getting lucky. And I would say we got lucky this year, even with Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles being the dominant forces that they were. So I would put them lower. But for now, I have them at 6. And then I have Texas Tech at 7. Money talks, Big 12. I mean...
Yeah, I think they'll do.
You gotta do well.
I think they'll do well in the regular season.
You gotta do well.
Talks, they'll for sure be in the Big 12 championship. That's a top They're a power conference. That's a top 7 team. I agree with you. I have a little bit of a gamble here. I have LSU at my 7. I don't see why this is not. That's right. LSU is higher than Texas, people.
Yeah.
Yep.
As they should be.
No Texas yet, for good reason. LSU's defense was great.
Okay.
I think their defensive coordinator is Blake Baker. He's done an amazing job there. Their offense were really bad. It was so obvious that their defense was bad, or their offense was bad and their defense was good.
Sure.
You have the perfect storm of probably one of the best offensive-minded coaches coming there. He got the quarterback he wanted because I'm pretty sure that's the only one they went after. Even if you think he wasn't super good at Arizona State.
Maybe.
What matters is that Lane Kiffin likes him, and I think a lot of players just like playing for Lane Kiffin because of his theatrics, and I think
Twitter war or X war.
On the volatile scale they could be as really good or really bad. I'm taking a little gamble. I think they're going to be good. That's why I have them at number 7.
What do you got at 8?
8, Texas. This is where I have Texas.
Okay, that's where you have Texas.
That's right. That's
sure.
First, second. I still have them as the 3rd SEC team.
Yeah,
I know.
While losing 5 games.
That's my bold prediction.
That's a bold prediction.
I think we got to clarify.
I don't think we believe in our bold predictions.
I believe a bold prediction is something that has a good chance of happening.
He doesn't even believe in his own bold prediction.
That's like if someone gave me...
I give it a 7 out of 7 for good reason.
If someone gave me 100-1 odds that Ohio State was going to win the national championship, I would take it, even if I wasn't super convinced Ohio State would win, just because I think those are good odds. So I think there's good odds that Texas could lose 5 games. Why not? I'm not saying it's my most likely scenario, but that's why it's a bold prediction. That's how these work.
Still have it at 8.
Okay. I have them at 8. I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be actually 8 puts them at a better team than they were last year. Quite a bit better. Probably at least 1 win better. So you could say that I'm actually believing in Texas by putting them at number 8.
Oh, wow.
I definitely would put them number 1.
Reference our last episode if you're wondering what I'm talking about with 5 losses.
Right. Well,
okay, fine.
What's your number 8?
Texas A&M.
Okay.
I think they're a good team. I think Marcel Reed, they're going to do their job. I have no reason to dock them. I think it was a little bit unfortunate the way that their end of the season played out, and they got a little lucky with schedule. But I think that now that they know how to be there, I think there's something to be said about experience of going to the playoffs, knowing how to win games now.
Experience from their coaches too.
I think that's gonna bode well for them.
Okay, I like that. My number 9 was Texas Tech. You had them a little bit higher. Mm-hmm. I think the money will talk. I think they deserve to be a top 10 team. I think they will do well. Like I said earlier, mercenary build, and I would call this a mercenary build, and maybe not some other teams.
Oh, just because they spent more money?
Yes.
Even though they probably got the same amount of players as the Indiana did?
Build. Yeah.
Okay.
I would.
Sure.
Sure. I'm going to call them a mercenary build. I think they'll continue to do well in the regular season, do well in the Big 12, and then I don't think they'll do super meaningful things in the playoffs.
Seems hypocritical.
Okay. Well, you can think that.
What do you got, 9?
No, who do you have 9?
I have 9, USC.
Okay.
I think that I think they're slowly, Lincoln Riley slowly catching the drift now. When he first started, they went really well with Caleb Williams because apparently he was just the second coming of amazing football players. So I think that's what helped them in the first place. But then after Caleb Williams left, they kind of drifted down. But now they're back on the trend, and he's kind of starting to build from the ground up now instead of just hoping for superstars.
Yeah.
So I think with their schedule coming up, they do play Ohio State. Yes. I think they have some chances to prove themselves, and if they can string together a couple wins to be in the top 12.
I agree. That segues well into my number 10, who's USC. Just like you, I believe in them. I think a lot of their offense is coming back, like you said, if their defense is still pretty good. And they were a pretty good team last year even. Mm-hmm. Not a ton of coaching churn, which always helps. I think they're probably learning, Lincoln Riley's learning how to play on the West Coast.
Sure.
Because that's a big deal, is playing on the West Coast is kind of difficult. I think they totally have a path to do well, and you shouldn't really count them out. And your number 10?
My number 10 is Miami. I think they're going to be good. I think they're going to be serviceable in the ACC. I see no problems with them.
Yep.
I don't think they're going to be elite by any means. But then again, I thought about that. I thought they weren't elite really going into this year either. So maybe their defensive picks it up again. I think losing Rubin is going to hurt them a lot.
Okay.
So I'm going to keep him at 10. I'm going to play a little more cautious there.
Okay.
And then for 11, I have Oklahoma.
Oh.
I think they're going to be good. Their defense is always good. Brian Venables knows what he's doing there. That's his forte. John Mateer is going to be back.
Mm-hmm.
If John Mateer wasn't hurt for some of those seasons, I think they would have been higher ranked. They would have won a couple more games.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to stick with Oklahoma making the top 12 for sure in this.
Okay. My 11, BYU. Like we said earlier, no reason why they should be bad. I think they'll be the number 2 team in the Big 12 again. I think they got good backing. They're retaining their coach, who, Kalani Sitake is still there. They've proven to be a pretty good team pretty consistently now. I think they'll be at number 11.
Sure.
My number 12, once again, little stretch, but I have Alabama. I think as soon as the pressure is finally off, as soon as they're keeping their coach, they're rebuilding in the portal, I don't see why they can't do well. All they have to do is fix their rushing attack, which was so bad. They were 125th, I believe, according to some metrics. All they have to do is fix their running attack, and they will get so much better. Some teams just don't know what to fix to get better, but I think Alabama does. I know they didn't fix it during the season, but the offseason is longer than the regular season. You can make more changes. I think they'll figure it out, and taking the pressure off is going to help, and I think Alabama could be right back in the top 12.
I have number 12 BYU. So as you can tell, I do not have LSU or Alabama in my top 12. I don't have that much faith in those two teams. I have BYU, kind of for the same reasons as yours. Big 12. I think they're going to win a couple games. They're going to face Texas Tech in the playoffs or the championship, and then we'll decide who goes to the playoffs.
Okay. Well, that wraps it up for our Josh and I's top 12 teams. Next up. So, recently, there's been a lot of scandal, a lot of problems with college football that I think need to be addressed. So, it's just not changing on the field anymore. It's changing in courtrooms, contracts, compliance, all these things. So, first up, we've mentioned a couple times this whole Duke and Darian Mensah case. So, if people don't know, what basically happened is Duke led Darian Mensah led 5 lost Duke to the ACC championship, won it, and he was on a 4-year NIL contract, multi-year contract, and on the last day of the portal, probably on the right way, he entered the portal and he planned to leave and go enroll elsewhere, and basically Duke was trying to sue him for going into the portal, saying they owned his NIL, which if you didn't know, NIL means name, image, and likeness. So they're saying they owned him. So it actually went to courts, and they were going to have this whole legal battle, but I think they eventually figured it out.
Yeah, they settled.
And they settled, and the settlement isn't exactly public, exactly what happened.
I think I was looking it up. I saw some rumors that that Mensah is paying Duke.
Really?
Some money.
I think that's possible.
I think it's I think it was $2 million.
Yeah.
Something like that.
That would be interesting, but
I think it's like a buyout.
Yeah. But this broaches our whole conversation of how contracts, should they be binding or not? If you sell, what do you think, Josh? If you get a multi-year contract from a school, probably a school who's giving you a chance, maybe from a smaller school, should you have to honor that contract? What do you think?
I would.
Better? Okay.
I think that should be a binding contract because the school's investing. This is an investment for them.
Yeah.
This is something they're staking their money on. They're trying to make sure that their football program is elite to the best of their ability, and they expect you to perform because they're expected to pay what they're owed to the player if they stay, right? I think the player should have the same responsibility of staying throughout their career there. Now, I think there should be clauses of whether they can go to the NFL or something like that within 2 years of that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I don't think they should have the ability to go to a competitor
Yeah.
within the same sport and
Yeah.
go, I'm going to go here.
Especially within the same conference. Kind of hurts.
Yeah, that's tough.
So it's a little interesting. I kind of agree with you. I selfishly wish that he would stay at Duke just because then, Duke just becomes a better team. And then
That'd be cool.
More entertaining football. It's good to build loyalty. You're still a student, and I like how it's probably better for your education. I know we don't talk a ton about education, but I don't know if Darian Mensah is going to go to the league. So
True.
It's probably better for education to stay at whatever school you're at, especially, Duke's pretty good for schooling. The other thing I think is interesting is Duke's plans here were to sue their own quarterback to have him stay there.
Yes.
At that point, do you think you're just burning the bridge and it's probably at that point, could he have possibly played another year at Duke? They sued me, so I guess I got to play here. How do you think that would have went down?
I think he holds out in the first place. So yeah, maybe he doesn't transfer, but he'll hold out and he'll just take up a roster spot. And I don't think that's good for Duke in the first place. Or he just becomes a cancer in the locker room, and then you just kill your whole culture.
Yeah.
So I think the moment he wants to transfer and you get into this, it's just a rabbit hole.
Yeah, I agree with that. So that was pretty interesting. Got resolved today.
I thought about that though, whether we should see contracts be like binding and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I thought something about this. I read it on the internet somewhere, and we all know that's something you should all believe.
Oh yeah, we are the internet.
I think they should start structuring contracts to give more and more money to players who stay.
Oh, I like this.
Like year 1, you get 200,000. Year 2, you get 600,000. Year 3, you get $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. That way to incentivize people to stay at your school, because if you go to a new school, it should that it'll reset.
Yeah,
so to speak.
And
then you still have a buyout.
Yeah, I like that. I think it would be really hard to implement because if you're doing it on a school level, if I'm Ohio State doing this and I'm doing this and maybe I start at 300,000 and then I do $1 million and then I do $2 million, the problem with that is even if my total is like 3.3 million over those 3 years, they're probably going to go somewhere else that's offering $1 million in the first year. Even if over the 3 years they only make $3 million. Even though that's less money, they want the money now, and most of them have the idea that they're going to move on to bigger and better contracts year after year. So I think it would be hard to attract players unless you make a law, and NCAA is horrible at enforcing laws.
You could argue that you can make, and I would say this is where we need a little bit more of laws and stuff like that. You can make it binding.
Yeah.
So 5 stars start out with this much.
Mm-hmm.
4 stars, and it's just a set amount.
Yeah, that's certainly a thought. It's giving the ratings companies a lot of
sway.
It
does give 24/7 or 360, whoever it is.
Yeah,
a lot of sway and power, but that a way to standardize paying.
Yeah,
could be a good way to do it, but not that I know. I'm just a fan.
Yeah, I don't know how they would do that.
No clue.
But it kind of
It's
sucks.
just a thought.
If you're a school like Cal, you're losing your quarterback every
you're
year.
screwed.
Every year, he's gone.
So screwed.
And then going to be a Heisman favorite.
Then you go, wow.
Apparently. Wow, he's so good. Another case that's been going on, or not really a case, but maybe going to become a case.
Possibly.
Dabo Swinney publicly accusing Ole Miss, especially Pete Golding, of tampering with Clemson's linebacker Luke Farrelly.
Oh, no.
So
tampering.
It's always been the Clemson way to build players up yourself. Poor Dabo Swinney has been having one more loss every year, 0 losses, one loss, 2 loss season, 3 loss season, 5 loss season, however many losses they had this year. And then here they are. They're finally dipping in the portal, changing their ways, which I think they should, and I'm glad they are. And I hope he does well here. But then basically what happened on the timeline here, Farrelly transfers from Cal to Clemson with he's highly sought after linebacker.
Yes.
He goes to Clemson. He's enrolled. He's attending classes and workouts.
Yes.
Dabo says he was moved in and everything.
Yes.
And then Clemson is alleging with pretty solid evidence. Dabo was like in there with his paper and book and everything, talking about and giving timestamps of times that Ole Miss was contacting
Yes.
Ferrelli. They were texting him. He had Trinidad Chambliss allegedly texting him about, like, he's got pictures of $1 million contract from Ole Miss while he's in his ADM class.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, how it used to be was tampering, and Dabo kind of said this. Tampering was like, talking to their friends and family, or your agents reaching out to their agent, and it's really hard to prove. And then worse tampering is you're talking to people before they even hop in the portal. But this has got to a whole new level, allegedly, where he's moved and transferred to another school, and there are still sending him pictures of a contract while he's in class. That's just crazy, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's wild. I don't know if it's true. I have no clue.
It sounds
I
like
haven't seen anything.
Dabo has a ton of.
Apparently, he kept the receipts.
I recommend looking at just a clip of his press conference where he's just going at them, and he's quite upset about it all. Some of his quotes are, "This is a whole nother level of tampering. If there's no consequences, we have no rules and no governance. And if you tamper with my players, I'm going to turn you in," basically.
Yeah, that's true. This is rare because usually tampering cases don't really go to the NCAA at all. Usually it's just like,
even though it's
tampering happened.
Yeah.
You just walk away.
Yeah. Even though
this is public now.
Strictly against their rules, it's like you can't recruit people before they enter the portal.
Yeah.
It's definitely a rule, and he says
so hard to enforce.
We'll see how it plays out over the next week. It sounds like he's going to try to start airing receipts. Another case of, are you really going to want Luke Ferrelli back on your team after you air out all of Ole Miss and say it's a problem? Probably not. Probably not good for the team. But at this point, I think Dabo's just doing it because he's just upset, and obviously to prevent other teams from tampering with his players in the future.
Oh, I don't. Yeah,
to make a big deal of it.
This sends a big red flag to people and go, I cannot contact any of their players.
Yeah, and hopefully it does. The tampering is kind of crazy. I mean, this dude's freshman, so he's probably younger than me, and I'm only 21. So
true.
I
don't think I would want him at Ole Miss anymore either, though, because now that people would know about this, because even though he did go to Ole Miss, right?
Yeah.
Now people know how much he's worth.
Yeah.
And if I was a wide receiver who's put in the work and everything, and I go, I'm not worth $1 million. I'm not getting paid $1 million. What's going on?
Yeah, but I think that's always exists. There's no way that
not this public,
but there's no way that players have been keeping a secret how much money.
Sure, they're all teenagers. They don't keep secrets very well.
Flashing their bank accounts every second they get.
It can't be good.
Yeah,
there's only downsides to it.
Yeah. Another thing that's a little interesting, just how the college landscape is changing, is Deion Sanders. He has dropped a new fine system for the Colorado Buffaloes. Even though they were below 500 this last season and his whole coaching career is right around 500, he's got fines. Let me read you some of them.
Ooh.
Late to practice, $500. Missed practice, $2,500. Late to meetings or film, $400. Missed meetings or film, $2,000. Late to strength and conditioning, $1,000. Missed strength and conditioning, $1,500. Late to treatment, $1,000. Missed treatment, $1,500. These fines could stack up. And they have some other ones like...
This seems excessive.
He runs his team like an NFL team. If you have team rule violations, it can be up to $2,500. And if you have public or social media misconduct, that can be up to $5,000 for a college
Who decides
player.
Severity?
Well, probably Deion. Well, he decided all the rules. By the way, and he's kind of setting...
This is crazy.
He's kind of setting up his team like an NFL team. I mean, he was an NFL player, obviously, even though Colorado's not that good. But it's just so interesting how he is the coach and he's making all these rules. By the way, the legality of this all is very questionable. But
yeah,
we all know the NCAA is horrible at enforcing laws at this point. So it's kind of a gray area because are you taking their revenue or are they employees? So it's really weird. And
I'd like to know guidelines. Well, what if someone's sick?
Exactly. Like, does this going to go to some sort of committee? Because in the NFL, they have a CBA. So let me get this here. NFL players are pretty much unionized. They have a collective bargaining agreement. So they have clear rules, appeal processes, and representation through the NFLPA. So while we don't talk about NFL a ton on this show, as college football kind of becomes more like the NFL, it's weird that you don't.
That's something to think about.
You don't have these safeguards in place for the players. Now, I'm not a huge union fan, but at the same time, at least these players have some sort of safeguards in place. While in college, not only are these younger kids, but
they're 19.
Deion's just doing whatever he wants.
They're gonna get fined $2,500 for being late.
Yeah, these kids are probably not very financially responsible either. And
I was late at 19.
Oh yeah,
that's crazy.
So
I'm all for. Don't get me wrong. I think the idea behind it is all right. Trying to create accountability.
Yeah.
The amount absurd.
Yeah, I don't know how much NIL they're pumping in over there. I don't think
Colorado
it's
can't be that wealthy.
Ton. So it's
if I'm a
certainly
walk-on,
interesting.
I'm not playing at Colorado anymore.
Yeah, and I guess that's the other argument is, okay, well, you can transfer out. You can go somewhere else. You can
Sounds
do whatever
good.
you want. I feel like maybe people will do that, and maybe they'll continue being like a 6-6 team.
Yeah, I know. I don't think they're going to get better out of this.
Even though that Heisman 2 years ago.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
It was Heisman.
And retired the quarterback.
All right. We're down
All
to
right.
our last segment.
Down to last segment.
Bold takes. Just for this episode. Speaking of which, if you have a bold take, and we would love to discuss it at our next episode, please drop it in the comments.
Please do. We will talk about your bold take. We'll give it a boldness rating. We will put it in our Excel spreadsheet, and we will revisit it when the
I will
time
make
is
fun
right.
of it.
You can make a bold prediction for the beginning of the season, like I'm about to make, and you can make one for the end of the season.
That I'm about to make.
It's all up to you. So,
We will make fun of it. Let's make that clear.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about it. But you can make fun of ours, so it's all fair.
It's all fair.
Mine's not so bold today. I'll
Okay.
start us off.
You can go first then.
So, in these way too early top 25 that ESPN dropped,
Yes.
there were 8 SEC teams, 8 Big Ten teams.
Okay.
We've talked a lot about how the top of the odds boards for the national championship have kind of been up there, dominated by Big Ten teams.
Yes.
At least a lot more than they used to be.
Yes.
There's a lot of talk about how Big Ten's a better conference. There's a lot of talk about all that. And so even with being a better conference, dominating the top of the leaderboard, and having 18 teams compared to the SEC's only 16 teams, I think the AP pool that drops will have the first AP pool. Those 25 teams will have more SEC teams than Big Ten teams still. And a lot of that's rooted in their, as far as odds go, Vegas says 13 of the top 30 teams are SEC teams, and only 8 of the top 30 are Big Ten. And those 8 are pretty much already in the top 25, and teams like Penn State could fall out. So not super bold, but I think it's interesting that in this day and age of Big Ten versus SEC, and everyone says Big Ten's better, that the SEC, even with less teams, my prediction is they will have more teams ranked in the first AP poll than the Big Ten.
I think that's accurate. I would, for my rating, I'd probably give that a 2.5.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think that's probably gonna happen. ESPN and all those people, they just like the SEC, and for good or for bad, Big Ten's won the last 3 years.
Yeah,
and that just could be because the cream rises to the top. So maybe Big Ten just has the elite top teams. That's it.
Yeah.
They don't have many mid-tier teams.
Yeah, I just still think it's interesting as they're trending to the better conference with more teams, and they're still not there. So bottom middle of the SEC, still really good. And
Sure.
They're still right up there. You can be top 30 to win the national championship, and that pretty much means you could win the national championship in this landscape.
Yes, absolutely.
So 13 out of 16 teams in the SEC, you're right there, basically.
All right, ready for mine?
Sure.
LSU will end up with 4 losses.
4 losses. Okay.
4 losses.
So
Here's where it's going to happen. We were able to
exactly
snag,
4, not more or less.
not more, not less.
Okay.
I will follow your Texas format and go exactly 4.
Okay.
Here's the schedule. They got Clemson to start.
Well, I said at least 5 losses for Texas. They could have 6. You better still give that to me.
I'll give you that. Sure.
Okay.
Won't even get close. But yeah,
That's fine.
To you.
No, go ahead.
I think LSU will have 4. They have Clemson Tigers first, and I think that's going to be a toss-up game right off rip, because I think Dabo's still a good coach. Lane is still trying to get his wheels underneath him.
Okay.
I think that's a toss-up game right off rip. Louisiana Tech, loss. Or a win, sorry. Loss for Louisiana Tech.
Right. Okay.
Win for LSU.
A little concerned there for a second.
Ole Miss Rebels, I think LSU will lose that game.
Okay.
Texas A&M, they will lose that game.
Okay.
McNeese, they're going to win that. Kentucky, they're going to win that. Mississippi State, they're going to win that. Auburn, a little bit iffy.
You're saying
They're going to win that, though.
50-50? But they're going to win.
No, it's more
Not
like a 60-40.
They're going to win. Okay.
They're going to win that game.
So we're at 2 losses still.
We're at 2 losses.
2.5.
Now, here we come to a two kind of stretch right here. We got Alabama, Texas, Tennessee.
All right.
They're going to clearly lose to Texas. I got to stay consistent. They're going to clearly lose to Texas. So we're at 3.5.
LSU's losing to Texas.
Right?
Sure.
So either A, we're at 3 guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
They need to lose one of Clemson, Alabama, or Tennessee.
Okay.
I'm concerned I don't think Tennessee's as good, but that's in Tennessee. That's helpful.
Okay.
Alabama is Alabama, but
Yep.
they haven't really proven that they could run the ball yet, so I'm cautious about that. And Clemson looked like crap last year.
It's true.
But they were all good teams that could, I think, with LSU being as volatile as they are, I think they could drop one of those 3 games.
So you're saying 4 losses, probably out of the playoff.
Yes.
Better than they were last year, but
Better than they were, but I don't think they'll live up to the expectations that they were hoping to
yeah,
in the beginning of the season.
I would probably
and they're
have
going to
them
beat Arkansas. So
Yeah, I'd probably have them with less than 4 losses. So you don't want to say 4 or more losses, or do you want to say exactly 4 losses?
I think it's way more fun just to go exact.
Exactly 4 losses. All right,
And I'll stick
LSU
with
having exactly 4 losses. I am going to give that a 5.5. I don't think it's that crazy. Maybe a 5. I'm going to give it a 5.
5? Okay.
I'm going to give it a 5.
Okay.
Officially, mark it down as a 5. I don't think it's that crazy. I think, and they could win one of those 3 games they said they were going to lose.
They could.
And then drop 2 of the games you were talking about.
They could.
Pretty, for how much hype LSU's getting, it's not that crazy that they go 9-4. And
No.
for LSU fans, I'm not sure how that would feel.
I don't think it'd be very good.
I guess 8-4 they would go.
8-4.
I don't think they'd be super happy. Would think they're a little understanding. If I had to guess, I think they're gonna have less than 4 losses. I think they're gonna have 3 or less losses. So I'll put that in the notes, but no predictions there. But I think that's relatively.
I think it's possible, and that's why I kept them on my top 12. I think they're gonna end up with 4, and they're gonna be sitting at like 20.
Okay. Well, there you have it.
Hey, that was a good one.
Conclude our show for this week, week 3, starting the offseason. It's a lot of fun to talk about offseason stuff, honestly.
Off-season stuff is cool. I love ranking stuff.
Yeah.
Controversial.
Oh, yeah. We got some controversy today.
Just a tad bit.
I can't wait till,
Hey, season.
it's going to be
starts up.
What's going to be a problem is when Texas plays OSU. And you know what?
I will root for OSU.
I get to root for OSU. And
I will root for OSU. I care about Ohio State first, then more than a bold prediction.
is it that their second loss?
What?
Or their second, sorry. Will that
Second
be
game.
their second game?
That's their second game.
See,
And I will be rooting for Ohio State.
I don't see how
Go Bucks.
Ohio State could beat them and then the wheels fall off and it could be so over for you.
It could be.
I hope so.
It could be.
That's what I'm expecting.
If that's the sacrifice I need to make for Ohio State to win, deal.
All right. Well, leave a comment on whatever we talked about. Please do.
Leave a hot take. Do that specifically.
Hot take, bold prediction.
Give us content.
Looking at people I know specifically who are hopefully watching this. First, thank you so much for watching, and you should subscribe. But you should also drop a bold take, and we will drop it in our bold take segment. Do them right along, me and Josh. You've heard 4 examples at this point if you've seen our last 2 episodes. So really looking forward to those.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
All right. We'll see you next time.